Wouldn't it be great if my first podcast was with the Debbie Adams? So this may or may not go as a podcast, but at the very least, we're going to shoot the poop.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to get out of the way because I know it might come. We're going to shoot the shit. You're allowed to curse if you want to.
Good.
So basically, if I do end up doing a podcast, I want to call it Caring Counts, Good People Doing Great Things. So you can't get much more great than Debbie Adams, in my opinion. The first time, today we even had some tears. Like the first time I met you, I remember someone said it was Earl Smith. We said, you two need to connect. And connected us through Twitter. And same thing, you're somebody to see somebody, tell me about yourself. That's kind of the first conversation. I was sitting here, you were sitting here, and I was on the other side. And we just, within 2 seconds, it was like, and I think there was some tears, just mushiness, and then. So Debbie, why don't you tell them about who are you?
Who am I? Some days I don't know. Some days I'm not certain who I am. I'm somebody with a heart for entrepreneurship, as you know. And I was a reluctant entrepreneur. Didn't want to be in this business at all, but ended up here because I needed to make a living, pay the family, work is my medicine. Mm-hmm. I do struggle a bit with mental health type stuff, and staying home was not good for me, so I needed something to do. Yeah. And I ended up here. And I just absolutely love it.
And you're in Sackville.
And I love you.
Oh. Oh my gosh. I am totally excited to be working, that we're going to be doing stuff together. Yep. And like I said, when we talked and I went home and I said to my wife, I'm like, so if I said there's someone I'm going to be working with and I'm probably the most excited person for me to work with, who would it be? And she said Debbie Adams. So, and I'm being true. That's from the heart. That's true.
What I want to tell people is that this entrepreneurship thing is for anybody. I think one time the perception was that business was something that was only for maybe a certain elite few. Yeah. But really, it's a great way to make a living. And if you're sitting there and not making enough money right now and you have a skill that you can monetize, I can show you how to do that. So that's the person that I'm trying to reach. I'm not all about the money, but let's face it, Adam, we live in a world where, we have to pay for what we want. We have to pay for our care. Mm-hmm. I don't mind sharing that this past week we put our mother in a nursing home. My parents are on fixed income, and how much money they make matters to the level of care that she has. So let's not sugarcoat it. We need money. Mm-hmm. So why not teach people how to take a skill that they have, monetize that skill, and if I can do it, so can anybody.
Anybody can do it.
So I like to listen to people like Carol Dweck, who talks about fixed and growth mindset. Okay. And a lot of my work centers around what it is that she's talking about. So you'll have people, for example, before entrepreneurship, I worked in a male-dominated environment. I was in the military, I was a mechanic, and there were people in there, men in particular, that really loved that I was there. Yeah. There were men there that thought I did not belong there. I should get back in the kitchen and rattle those pots and pans. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Those people with fixed mindset that believe that 100% unequivocally women belong in the home, you're not going to change them. Mm-hmm. Same with money mindset. You have people who think that because of centuries of conditioning that money is bad, that people with money are bad people, mm-hmm. they're not going to change. They're not my person. My person knows that they have an issue. They show up and say, well, money is not really the thing for me, and I struggle with that, and I'm all about coming alongside and helping them to get over it. Mm-hmm.
Celebrities, sometimes when they become a celebrity, they can go off like maybe you were an asshole in the first place. A good person with money is going to do good things. Is that kind of getting over that? Does that kind of make sense?
There's assholes with no money and assholes with lots of money, and there's celebrities like you.
Oh my, celebrities! Oh my gosh. Now, would you be considered an author or someone that, how would you consider yourself? Because you are in this book in one of the chapters, are you not?
I am in that book, but I'm a 3-time published author. This is my third book.
Third book?
Third book. My first book was called Single Again, Now What?
Single Again, Now What?
A Practical Guide to Meaningful Connections. Not a word of a lie, I needed some money, and I wrote this book in a week. Yeah. I sold a workshop and the book, of course, as a supplement to the workshop, just to make a few bucks. But I had started in the online dating world, and this is what I'm talking about, monetizing something that you know what to do.
Yep.
So I had been in the online dating world. I came from occupational health and safety one time, so I thought people need to learn how to be safe online. So I wrote this little book. It's not as sexy as it sounds. You know what I'm saying, man?
See, it's a book about online dating, so it doesn't doesn't get hot and steamy or anything.
Oh no, it's I'm saucy by nature.
And I always say this to you. I love the way that you'll go to an event. I know you say this every time. You go to an event, and there'll be some big speaker or something, or someone that everyone's around. And I think I've seen you probably 3 times walk up, and you're just like, "So you think you're something fucking special, don't you? So tell me, who are you?" Like, it's I just you come in, you break it down, and it gets into a great conversation. But I love watching you. Just go.
Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?
You think you're something special now, don't you?
But you know what? Like, this is what I think we need to look beyond the curtain every now and then and see that we're all just real people.
Yep.
Right? And sometimes we have the means to be able to become celebrities or to get out there in the world, but at the core, we're just peeps.
Yep.
I love being a mom. I always say to people that I really didn't know what love felt like till I had a child. And I was like, "Come on, Adam, like cry. Let's cry.
I knew you were gonna make me cry. That's
I know, right? But isn't that the truth?
Absolutely.
Like, I love my business, but I gotta tell you, when I had my daughter, that was pretty friggin' special.
Yeah. And when I first looked in Bria's eyes, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm your dad. You are in for something special."
I know, right?
To get to your point, yes.
Yeah.
Love of your children. There's no comparison.
No comparison. And
except for my wife's there, obviously.
There's no merit. Yeah. At this time of year, I have 2 businesses. PeopleCan Training, and then there's PeopleCan Taxes. So it's income tax season now. That's the other side of me. Left brain, right brain, the other piece.
You got more pieces than
Yeah, so, you can, I don't mind telling people, I'm shameless plug here. This is like shameless plug. Income tax, sole proprietors. This is like, who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? But is there any wonder that I chose this guy when I was looking for someone to help me go online and kind of like bring my story and create my brand? This is the guy, right? Like the heart. Aww. And he just loves doing this shit. I mean, just absolutely loves it. I might have to teach him a little bit about money, charging large.
It's true. Yes, I see. That's the thing. When I send you my invoice, I'd be like, she's gonna get mad. She's gonna pay it and go, you're worth double.
Yeah. Not you're not gonna charge me double, but the next one,
Probably changes weekly or monthly, but is there some philosophy that you're grounded in?
No. I'm a processor, so I'll have an answer for you next week. Of course I have philosophies. I don't know what they are today. Listen to the shit he asked me. Like,
you said just go and I'll go with it. I'm like, all right, I'm not
go ahead. Go
ahead. That's a deep question.
Show me the money. Charge large. I live by that philosophy. Who's your daddy? Oh, yeah.
Now, is there, for entrepreneurs out there, do you have a piece of advice that, I know you have a zillion pieces of advice, but recently one that kind of hit that you think they should know? Someone that's...
I love talking about money mindset, and actually when I leave here I'm going to be doing a podcast around the veteran entrepreneur and money mindset and all of that piece. So I think the whole money piece is a piece that a lot of people have. I like working with people who are really good at their craft, whatever that may be, or build, they can build the best widget, but I want them to monetize it and get what the market will pay for that product or service. So my piece of advice is to look at your own product and ask if you're actually just shying away from charging large, because of something inside of yourself that says, I shouldn't do that. A good person would never do that. Or a good person will always give 25% off because I need to be seen as good, right? As opposed to saying, it's worth that. I'm bringing a ton of value. I'm solving your problem. I'm opening doors. So, of course, we're going to charge large. Don't shy away from charging what your product or service is worth. Just saying. Don't fuck around with price.
Nope. I've been through the process of, charging. Do I charge? And there was a process. I knew what I thought I wanted, and there was like something inside me, and then it took a while for me to get to a point and having coffees with people, and I'd leave giving them all these strategies about social, and then I'd walk away, and Sarah would say, "You just gave that away." I'm like, nah. And then eventually got to a point where I was like, I think I can help, and then start with one client or another, and now I feel that I'm still, the fee is probably going to grow because I think I have more, but it is getting the confidence that I know that if I charge this, they know that that's worth it, right? So it's a process, and for me, yes, the good, the heart, and the kindness and all that stuff, but there's all these cliche things like you can't pour from an empty cup, right? All those, and it's very true. You can't help anyone if you have nothing.
Right.
You can't help. Like you can be like, this is great. Do you have $5 for me to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you get the coffee?
You talk about being a reluctant entrepreneur is something you always talk about. I'm creative, fun, caring, all that stuff. I am not wired as a business person. That's what I need to outsource. That kind of stuff, like accounting, boom, stuff that you're good. Like I need to outsource. So,
but I'm not wired as a business person. So I think, and that's part of my message is, I came from a military background where I had heart to serve, and the definition of. I always get asked, when do I need to file a tax return? The Tax Act says when you have a profit motive. When you have when you're making money, if you're building bookshelves in your backyard, in your shed for your aunt, your uncle, all of those people, and then all of a sudden you're building 20, you're making a few bucks, you're a business.
Yep.
So when you have that profit motive. I went into business with a heart to serve. You can imagine how much money I made in the first 4 years in business, like next to nothing, because I could give it all away, spill the jelly beans in the foyer, so to speak, and walk away. And they're making. People have called me out and said, that little piece of advice you gave me yesterday, I went out and I made $6,000, and I'm like, I made fuck all. I just gave you that. So what I
Where's
teach,
my check?
Right. So people will always say, "Oh, Debbie's all about the money. Charge large." That's the people that don't know me at all, because I give a ton of stuff away all the time.
Yep.
But I've learned to put a value on what it is that I'm selling, and if I'm giving it away, I know I'm giving it away. So that's been a lesson for me, and I think that's why I teach it. It's because I know how hard it is to learn that lesson.
Because we only have so much time, right? It all boils down to time.
Yeah.
And like I said, going on, I went to tons of little coffee meetings, and I'd go for half an hour and it's talking for 3 hours because it was great. And I get home like, wow, I literally there was not like I was looking for money, but I took 3 hours of my day that I could have been trying to get a new client or trying to figure out who I was or whatever. And I had to, now when someone asks me for coffee, I pretty much say, yeah, I got time. If it's someone that I know well, and obviously I want to help them out, it's a video conference because I can do that sitting. I can take 10 minutes and sit and because the coffee isn't just the coffee. The coffee is the coffee, but it's getting to the coffee. It's the coffee that is always more than a coffee, and then getting home. So that's at least 2 hours. But it's tough. So we have 5 minutes, and you're going to be doing your podcast. But we may, as we move forward into our relationship, you may be doing we might be getting you to do a podcast as well as your video, because voice is big. And I think in the morning, if anyone has an Alexa or a Google Home, those things, you can have a morning routine. I think it'd be pretty cool to have a morning routine. They say, "Good morning, Alexa," or sorry, "Alexa, good morning," and it says "Good morning," and then it says the news, and then it finishes with a 5-minute podcast.
But
Debbie Adams.
What pisses me off about that Alexa? Like, why is it a woman?
I think you can change it. I know on what's Apple, on Siri, you can change it to it's like a British dude, I think.
I'd be okay with that, but I have a problem with Alexa.
You want to be like,
just saying,
"Good morning, Debbie. How you doing? Looking good, sweetheart. Who's your daddy?" Why don't you lend your voice to Alexa? They'll probably do that where you can actually...
Yeah, right, with my Newfie accent. Yes,
I think so.
Should do it.
A couple Newfoundland lines and then the translation. Something like,
"Oh yeah, this is one from my, on the weekend we had my sister's granddaughter for the weekend visiting, and she was making fun of this. She's from Nova Scotia. Because we say, what's your at?
What's your at?
Yeah.
What's your at? Like, what are you at? Like, how
like
you doing?
what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, what are you up to?
But isn't that what are you at? Isn't that what are you at? Or is it what's you at?
Yeah, well, what's your at?
What's your at?
What's your at? Well, one word.
What's your at?
What's your at?
What's your at?
What's your at, boys?
That's,
And nothing. And then you say, and nothing.
and nothing? And that's it?
I'm not at anything. And nothing. In Newfoundland, we don't really have like 26 letters in the alphabet. We don't have H's. Or sometimes we have H's like on egg, heg. But we don't have an H on hotel, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have hotels, yeah.
Hotel.
See, I think that's a book in itself, because we just talked about time. Like that language, the Newfoundland, style of language, that cuts a lot of time. Yeah. If you just start cutting out words, instead of being 25 words a sentence, just make 6.
Yeah.
You can you just save a lot of time. It's genius.
Yeah, but somebody always jacks me up for it, right? They always say,
what'd you say?
They'll jack me up because
She said jack me up. Just to
I said jack me up, but what did Purcell think?
You can
see that?
You can make it a man. You can't.
Sarah,
you can't.
Are you still there?
Yeah, she said you can make it a man. You can make Alexa a man.
Oh, you can make Alexa.
What's his name? What's his name though? Sven?
I have to go. I'm going. You can stay, Adam, but I have to go.
Are they coming here?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to clean up. She's telling. This is her way of saying, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, that's my next.
Can I just stay live and just be like, those 24-hour cameras, and I'll just be live here and be watching and stuff, hanging out?
No, that'd be too freaking weird.
This is kind of possibly my first podcast that I'm going to put together. I don't know. But at the very least, I always have so much fun hanging with Debbie Adams.
Same.
And can you give me? This is going to be my ending line of my podcast. Take it away, Debbie.
What is it I'm taking away?
I don't know, just close the show. Like usually they say, this has been Caring Counts with blah, blah, blah. And I talk about people that are good
This has been Caring Counts with Adam Purcell, and I'm delighted to be here. See you later.
And then give me the who's
yeah. Who's your daddy?
Yeah. Thanks, peeps.